Hello folks, and welcome back to twitch.tv/gameswithnick. We have a bit of an unusual week this week. Due to the Thanksgiving break, I will not be streaming in my usual slot, but I should have bonus streams today and Saturday most of the day to kind of make up for it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to continue and hopefully finish Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I believe we have 2 cases left. So let's start with the first one, which is the Abbey Grange affair. The nice thing about this game is that the cases are unrelated to each other.
No, the game is afoot, not a word. Into your clothes and come.
Except it seems they're trying to make this merry men setup for...
I'll wait for you in the sitting room.
I expect the last case, but these cases are not related, so...
I've just received a note from Inspector Lestrade.
You are not missing anything if this is the first stream you're catching up on.
My presence. Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified. I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story.
Oh, look at Toby.
Exercise.
Oh, Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress.
Kill
It would be
Toby.
much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
Alright. Got a silver casket of Nitzer's ritual knife as a memorandum from the last case. We have managed so far to find all of the correct choices, so that's impressive. Oh. Well, that's the first time that something crashed on us. Kind of a bad start for today's streaming, but hey. That's just life, I guess. We're gonna be right up again. It is loading. You need to move the window so I can still see chat. Alright. So, as we were saying, the Abbey Grange affair. Switch to first person.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
I can tell from Lestrade's handwriting that he was in a hurry when he wrote this letter. A wax seal with the monogram E.B. The Brackenstall family coat of arms.
Pretty clear that the Brackenstall family is where we're going. Abbey Grange, Marsham, Kent, 3:30 a.m. My dear Holmes, I should be very glad of your immediate assistance in what promises to be a most remarkable case. It is something quite in your line. Except for releasing the lady, I will see that everything is kept exactly as I found it, but I beg you not to lose an instant, as it is difficult to leave Sir Eustace there. Yours faithfully, Inspector Lestrade.
So, what is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always. It appears to be a case of murder.
Murder, you say?
Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the E.B. monogram, their coat of arms. The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime. Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately. I live in hope of an interesting morning.
All right.
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid, Teresa Wright.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
We will see whether this gang is actually responsible.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name
Jesus.
is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am
That
sorry
is
for your
suspicious.
loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
I assume that the black eye has something to do with last night. Yes, fresh bruises, pale cheeks. Gold brooch. Kangaroo and emu. Oh, she is Australian. She wears an elegant dress. She has a wedding ring. And she has some old bruises too. Ooh.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and, oh God,
Please, go on.
as I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Did these three villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
Oh, yeah, no, he just beat me.
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
How do you... Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time, out of control. again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Your ladyship?
Hmm. It seems to be a robbery which turns into a murder. Lady Brackenstall was assaulted and tied to a chair. Sir Eustace Brackenstall was tried to resist, is dead. His head was knocked in with his own poker. According to the Lady Brackenstall words, it was 3 Lewisham gang of burglars to 3 Randalls. How about you, Theresa?
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
Right, let's examine you too. Seems to very much love her mistress.
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
Okay. Oh. I'm using an Elite controller which has the back triggers, and I really just need to disable them because I don't use them for anything. I'm observing. Like the observant trigger popped, right? Yeah, but what am I looking at? Let me examine this small table first.
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one? So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
Fascinating. Swear to God, I failed to see what you want me to observe. We'll get back to it, I guess.
A trapper's hut.
The wall, maybe? This is mystifying. Oh. Family business booming. The Randall gang is back on the streets. Less than a fortnight ago, this infamously family of burglars, the Randalls as they are known, made their reappearance by way of a brutal but successful intrusion into one of the wealthier homes in Sydenham. The police are already on their trail, however, the details of the crime are being kept confidential, including that of the name of the victim. A witness was able to provide a precise description of all 3 men, and this will surely give the police a chance to complete their profile on this family of delinquents. We would take the liberty of reminding our esteemed readers about this highly dangerous band, and to provide the full description as it is available at the moment. The gang has been in business for some considerable time, being a family of 3, a father and his 2 sons. The elder, Jack Randall, is a man in his 40s and already gray-haired, while of average height and build. Being the mastermind behind the burglaries, he retains control over his sons, both of whom are close in age, but very different in appearance. The first son, William Randall, is tall and broad-shouldered with a small, disproportionate head. The younger brother, Melvin Randall, is of somewhat weaker constitution and as skinny as a rake. The gang is wanted not only for their frequent thefts and break-ins, but for the exceptionally brutal pirate career they enjoyed before returning to England. Be alert, and may your valuables be safe.
The description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
Yeah, that's, Yeah, I don't believe the Rhino Gang is responsible for a second. I'm not laughing. What do you want me to notice? This thing is gonna drive me insane until we figure out what they actually want from us.
My mistress is very tired.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
Let's step out and go examine the body and maybe come back.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
And what have you been doing, Watson?
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
The head was cracked with the force of the blow. That must be the murder weapon. Barefoot, he had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress. Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon.
Right.
It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
Hmm. Oh.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me. A fur trader's cabin. A deer hunt. A hunting scene.
There's a lot of hunting happening here.
These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France. This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen. An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents.
I'm not sold. Why would they steal the contents of the box but not the box itself? Why would they not steal the candlestick? No, you're not telling me everything, Lady Eustace. What am I missing?
This
Silvery thing, yeah. Can't open the drawers. All the bottles.
A
Oh,
bottle of wine is missing here. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware. Chateau Calon-Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two are clear. A decanter standing next to the open bottle, an inseparable pair indeed.
there were only two people drinking. The remaining glass was the beastwick consisting solely of the dregs from the other two glasses. So Eustace could have been due to his accidentally striking his head on the fireplace grate. Or it could have been due to a poker blow. Someone to me wanted to show that there have been 3 people here when that had not actually been
This
the
door
case.
leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
But why? You know? I'm still missing something, and it's dining room. I guess the fair question is, where would the criminals have left from? Like, there's this garden to explore. It's gonna be tricky to find the actual clues that are hidden in here. Let me go back in. Anything else I'm missing here?
The hunting scene.
Oh,
Antique hunting weapons.
nope.
The death was instant.
Oh, sure, of course.
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail.
Toby!
I'll take it with me. This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to.
Alright, we have inspected the dining room. We're gonna go find Toby. There's still more to discover here.
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Your ladyship?
Oh, you are so lying.
Please leave my Mary alone. She suffered so much, she deserves some rest.
Are you talking about last night, or are you talking about the failed marriage with this loser who beat her? Huh? I really don't understand why this RB icon. It's from the back half of the room. Pops up here. I don't see anything. Oh,
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame. This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it.
alright. Excuse me, lady.
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it. Your ladyship? Let us try to open this safe. This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
Oh, I see. Alright. 1, 2. That's a pretty crappy safe that does that, to be honest. Like, I get that this is a video game safe, but... Whew. Sir Eustace, your current physical and mental state is of great concern. There are several signs of a hepatic decompensation. The last time when we met, your eyes were bloodshot and your skin was tinged with yellow. There is a particular odor coming from your breath that is common in those suffering from liver damage. Then there are the lungs abscess that we've discussed. The leg cramps you have described to me are caused by an alteration to the nervous system, which in turn is caused by an excess of alcohol. That includes the tremors. Your liver seemed excessively hard at the time of your examination, which is a sign of evolving cirrhosis. There are also signs of ascites, fluid in the peritoneal cavity, which are evidenced with your swollen stomach. The pain beneath your left rib indicates a pancreatic malady, which may lead to fatal lymphoma and pancreatitis. Your condition may pose a risk to others. Your excessive alcohol consumption lowers your self-control and heightens your aggression. I'm available to help you with this problem. There are a number of treatment options.
It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal. Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have...
Alright. Oh, Therese is the one I can talk to about the,
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behaviour.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead, but a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was specially hard for her.
The thing is, if she'd only actually waited, I don't know, a few months, he would have just died. Lady Brackenstall married Sir Eustace shortly after arriving in England and remained at home during that time. There is no possibility that she or her maid are acquainted with anyone in the country. She could be acquainted with a sailor, to be honest. I'll leave that open for the moment.
Oh, what a horrible...
Please leave me.
Maybe I can talk to Lestrade about it?
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
to the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
Sir Eustace was violent toward his wife. For now, let us go get Toby. Toby! Tobes! Here you go, buddy.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
I should go back to Abbey Grange, I guess. Yeah! Look at that good boy. Oh, what a good boy. If you didn't know, I'm a dog person.
Search, Toby.
I see. I smell. And this way. Oh shit, you know what I've never played on stream? They just gave me the vibe better because of the music. Scratches. I should play
The
that.
intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
Scratches is a good, tense, scary game. Not too long. We could probably finish it off in 1 or 2 sessions. Yeah, I should consider doing that soon.
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
And the left through here.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Because they're fake criminals!
This hook might be useful. Small gardening tools, nothing of great interest. Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty. There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
I know, let me remove this. Put the hook on. Let me guess, it's the silverware.
Silver. The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
Lady Brackenstall. You really should come clean to me. No, the robbery was imitated. Sir Eustace was murdered by one person who visited that last night. It was he who tied up Lady Brackenstall. He is tall and strong. She probably could have met someone on the boat. Let's first talk to her. And I can analyze the rope. Man, Scratches is such a fun game. I want to play it now.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Are you?
Your ladyship? We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
I am not fooled by you for a second. Thank you for your service, Stokes.
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope. The fibers from this cut appear to be different. If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
Sailor background. The rope was cut with a sharp knife and tied quickly in Sailor's knot. That could indicate that the intruder had a sailor's background. The person who was visiting that night was probably a sailor. You seen some sailors?
What should we do next, Holmes?
Brave Toby. The best...
Can I just call my informants, or... Oh. Yes, let's do it. Research... Arrival at the Rock of Gibraltar. Ship return. The Rock of Gibraltar, a bulk carrier from the Adelaide Southampton London line, 100 building, James Street, London, has returned from a 6-month voyage through India, New Zealand, and Australia. The ship brought to England Miss Mary Fraser, the Harris and the Fraser family, owning land in 10 mines in Australia. This reportedly beautiful young lady is presently engaged to Sir Eustace Brackenstall, one of the wealthiest gentlemen in Kent.
Here it is. The shipping company, the Adelaide Southampton London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And by the specialists, we mean Wiggins, yes. You know, this might be a quick case.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
It seems to me pretty open and shut. I will also say that I will probably forgive the lady
Borrow it.
for organizing the death of her
Half a guinea
husband.
for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893 and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
Wow, 3 hours. That was quick.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Put it in the post anonymously.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
Alright, not to this first list. This one is currently at sea. This one is still on, let's see. Chill, Crocker, Southward, Woods, Walker, Whittington, Parkledge. Crocker.
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
John, Duncan, Chalmers, Davidson. He doesn't look like anyone else. This one is also currently going. This one has left a long time ago and is still not here.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
Oh, I think I need to run all of them out.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
So we still need to do Setward, Woods, Walker, Whittington.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. I do not think that this officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. This officer is Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
It's funny, I was one step ahead of the game because I was already mentally going like, no, this person can beat her, this person can beat her, so...
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him. Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes! Sometime later.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
He's an honest man. He has a strong build. Newspaper ink. Clean boots. Sea knife. Oh, I already did that.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love. particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
And what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
Yeah, so there's knots, right? Yeah.
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
No, he's clearly lying. The captain is clearly the killer. I do believe I still have that, so let's quickly go back to Epic Range. I believe I get to talk to Lestrade about the silverware, as the only person we talked about. Lestrade?
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Alright. The murder was committed in self-defense. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and dipsomaniacal man. The mystery is solved, but you said to keep it secret. There is no need to inform the police. Yeah, that's pretty clear. The man was gonna die anyway because of his drinking, and he deserved to die because of how he treated a woman. So.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Bear Linares fast.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots.
That's why I'm
I
absolving
regret
you.
nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear, and it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
Whoa. No. I'm not gonna let you kill yourself, man.
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox dei.
Did we have to do this weird, like,
you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
this weird fake trial
It is
thing?
a great
Come on.
responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
I am satisfied with the resolution of this
Inspector,
case.
I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
Yay! I was happy with how we solved this case. It was also not a particularly hard case, but okay. So, this is a bit of a shorter episode, but with this game, it really makes sense for me to break things up every time a case ends. So I'm just gonna end the screen right here and restart it immediately for the next case. So thank you for watching. You can find me at twitch.tv/gameswithnick and youtube.com/gameswithnick. I especially encourage you to check out youtube.com/gameswithnick over the next month and a half. I have some special things that are only uploaded to my YouTube channel. Partly due to the fact that Twitch won't let me pre-upload VODs unless I'm an affiliate, which I am not. So, fuck 'em. So check out youtube.com/gameswithnick, like, subscribe, leave comments. Follow me on twitch.tv/gameswithnick. Thank you for watching, and until next time.